All right, so today we are talking about how much money can you make as a lawn care or landscape business owner. I feel like this is a question that a lot of people were thinking about or wondering about when I went out on my own, because when you start a business, a lot of times people are going to think you're crazy. You know, there's no real guarantee that it's going to go in the right direction. There's all this fear of failure. Sometimes people are going to think it's silly that you're doing what you're going to do. And sometimes along the process, they're going to be like, hey, come on, isn't it time you get a real job? So today we're going to go over that, talk about what you can make, and a lot of other information. But to start off, I'm Jacob Godar. I love bringing this content to you guys. I love talking about business. I love talking about where you can go in it and all the potential. When I first started out, in all reality, I was totally broke. I went from earning pretty good money, pretty reasonable, I think probably 50 to 60,000 a year. I started off in this and immediately went from doing that, cashing out my 401k, to being on food stamps and making very, very small amount of money in that first year of really trying to get my business going. I remember for the first several years, especially because I didn't want to pull a bunch of money out of my business and change my lifestyle at all, that if people worked overtime, they would make more money than me. This was challenging. You know, my race was to get away from needing any kind of government assistance and any of these things into earning more money. And along that direction, people think you're crazy for dropping the good and going for the great. And that's what ultimately it felt like I was doing, because I had this job that paid well, and in my mind I'm trying to see how are we going to go with like 25 lawns and go full time. I'm actually happy I didn't know more than I knew, because at that time I was trying to figure out, how does $500 a week, how am I going to pay for everything and then pay myself something on top of that? That was the math that I was working, because that's about roughly in season the amount of money I was going to make off of the accounts we had. So getting into the guts of this, how much money can you actually make? At the very end of this video, I'm going to tell you how much I think you absolutely need to be making if you're in business, and it's something that you need to be shooting for. But the true answer is, it is totally unlimited. The question that needs to be asked is, how far do you want to go? How much do you want to grow? How much building and learning personally and developing and hiring people do you want to go through so you can get to a different level where you have a much higher income than you have now? And that's what's really going to have to be answered, because you could go for infinity. There's no stopping how big you could grow, how many locations you could add, how many people you could hire. It's just going to be a lot of risks and challenges along the way. Now we're going to get into a couple of the challenges though to growing your income that are going to be things that stand in the way of a lot of companies, that are a real issue, that is a burden, that it just holds you back. You think, how am I going to get there? One is being profitable. Yes, if you just start out, maybe you're not going to immediately be profitable. Do I think that if you don't go out and buy a million things and you really bootstrap it, could you be profitable very, very early on? Yes, you could. Like, we were able to show a profit my first full-time year, but we were ending up buying some more stuff that drew all that profit down. But one of the biggest issues is being profitable, because you need to be profitable enough to scale your company. And these two things, always this ebb and flow of being able to figure out how to be profitable, how to keep teams focused and managed well enough to stay profitable and have money, have the liquidity to then go and scale your company, grow, market, do all of these things. Because what happens is you get in this rat wheel of not having the profit and the money to market the company. And it's already scary enough, because a lot of the times you're going to be doing marketing and out there on a limb because you don't quite have the money to pay for it yet. But you know, if I don't market, I can't grow. So you're always trying to chase this being profitable, being more profitable, working towards this place where I am staying profitable and I'm able to scale, and I'm staying profitable and I'm able to scale. And those are the things that are going to allow this to get bigger and bigger and bigger and grow your income. Because ever since I started the business, that is what I have been able to do. I've been able to year over year over year grow my income. Is it a lot? Maybe it's not sometimes. Is it a lot of others? Yes, it is. And that's going to ebb and flow with the growth of your business, and based off of the trajectory, what kind of capital investments you're going to be making, the things and the direction you're headed, you have a lot of opportunity to, especially if you look down the road. I am very blessed that either through mentorship or reading, I have learned to not look right ahead of me, and I've learned to look way down the road, because I don't care that I can spend I can earn this right now. I would rather spend this huge chunk over here to earn this way down the road. And so business is a long game. If you're chasing the quick buck, if you're just trying to, hey, I want to make a quick 50 grand in a year and be done, you're probably going to cut a lot of corners and do a lot of bad things that are going to take away your profitability and your ability to scale through other things like attrition of clients and all these different metrics. Now, my final portion of this is, what do I truly feel like you should be earning if you're running a landscaping company? Kind of like the baseline of you need to get to this point. For me, that number is at least 100,000. You might be thinking, whoa, there's a lot of businesses just doing 100,000. Yes, there are. But you as a business owner, you as the risk taker, you as the person who puts on the armor and goes to battle with this thing that is a business every day, you should be earning at least 100,000 a year. And right now, you might not feel like you're valuable enough. You might not feel like you know enough, and you might feel like you've got a long ways to go. You may be all of those things. At this time, you might not be bringing a bunch of value. Maybe you just started your company and you're working on how to bring more value in. And maybe you don't know enough yet. That is this mission. You must learn, you must grow, you must become more valuable so you can get to those numbers. And I will promise you that if that sounds exciting to you, if you're in a place where you're not there yet, or if you're in a place, because the same information applies if you want to go from that to 100 or 200 to 500 to a million a year, you're going to keep needing to do the same things. You're going to have to expand your think and your learning exponentially. But what I can promise you is, if you will read, if you will invest the time, if you will spend time around others, like we have GROW Comm for that very reason. I want to see other business owners grow. If you spend time around quality people who are bringing value and showing you things they're doing, and you get a little bit from them, and then you go over here and you get a little bit from this, and you go to conferences, you read books, and you educate, you can have as much as you want. And you'll definitely get to that baseline, 100,000, much faster than you think once you start pouring on the education. And this wasn't anything I got from school. This was all self-education and watching other businesses. And the final key to speeding up and getting to that 100,000, like if you want to get to that really, really quick because you're sick of where you're at and you know you at least want to be here, is modeling what other businesses are doing. So that's what, I'm not trying to do this continuous plug for GROW Comm, but that's the perfect example of being able to model. You're able to look at all of our templates, look at all of our marketing emails, look at how we run our business, look at the courses on how we would train our team about how to run our business, and apply those same things. You're going to want to do that if you want to get there fast in everything. Model the marketing that works, model the business structure that works, model the opportunities that work, model, implement, and go forward at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you grow your business, and I hope you know that even if you don't feel like you bring value today, you do. You are initiating a really, really cool journey if you're starting out, to where you're going to bring more and more value all the time, because the more you grow, the more you can give, the more people you employ. It's a really cool and a very interesting journey that will build you mentally and physically.